is up, guys? We're going to dive right into it. Here we are picking up on Saturday. I got the clutch pivot point, I guess you'd say, changed out from the OEM plastic one over to this aluminum. Much better clutch engagement. And then here we are moving on to Sunday. I was getting the alternator removed from the Sentra. Not too bad of a job. However, I just had an issue with some of the access points to get to these bolts. You really couldn't fit a normal ratchet in there. I had to end up using a double-sided ratchet to be able to get it in there. I was actually kind of debating about getting the headers removed. That's how frustrating it was at this point, but eventually figured it out. Here we are moving over to the tensioner, which was also weird placement. It was one of those bolts where once it's screwed entirely in, you screw another bolt through the head of it. So it was kind of a weird placement. And then we also kind of ran into some issues with getting this alternator lined up to get a bolt through it. But the alternator is back on the car. I just have to put the belt back on it. So we'll get that figured out because once again, it was raining. Here we are on Tuesday, getting the beetle all cut up. I'm cutting the tie rod from the spindle because the nut that's holding the tie rod to the spindle is just free spinning. So had to get that cut. Didn't go according to plan. So now I have to get an entirely new spindle. All right, guys, so here we are currently. The pain, this entire housing is spinning when you're trying to get the upper strut mount bolt off or whatever. So I've been soaking that in WD-40, soaking for about 4 or 5 days now. So when I get back from work tonight, I am gonna go ahead, knock out some orders, and then we'll pick back up and we'll be working on the Beetle. We are currently on our way to Mooresville. We're gonna go see some test and tune action. I believe this is the first test and tune of the new season and new ownership over at Mooresville, so we're going to head out there. I also needed to put some more mileage on the SRT4 because I'm trying to get this thing inspected. Check engine light hasn't came on in about 2 weeks, and as soon as we hop on the highway, of course. But it should just be some kind of bullshit evap code, so we'll be good there. But simple fix. But we got to get this thing inspected, but we'll just pick back up once we're over at Mooresville.
Beating the hides up just a little bit. I'm still keeping this thing away from the road. Got hand over.
Picking up in the SRT4. I know I promised we'd be picking up messing with the Beetle, but for the past 2 weeks, I'm actually on my second temp tag. Cracked my camera. I'm working to get this SRT4 inspected so that we can actually get a real plate. I just left LKQ. I had to get a bearing. I actually went and got this thing, attempted to get this thing inspected earlier today, but I failed due to too much play and being in one of my wheel bearings on my driver's side. So just picked that up from LKQ. This is my third time changing it, so I have to really figure out why there's so much pressure being put on this driver's side hub. So we'll figure that out. This is my last time getting a junkyard hub as my truck passes me. This is my last time getting a junkyard hub. From here on out, we're gonna actually get the hub press and actually start putting brand new hubs on this thing. Because I think another thing that factors into it is the fact that a lot of these probably have, you know, 150, 180, maybe even 200,000 miles on them at the junkyard. So not to mention what kind of condition they've been in. So we're going to get back to the crib. That's where we're going to pick up from. We're going to get this new bearing thrown on, new hub or whatever. And then as far as the Beetle goes, we'll just do some more content for that in a completely separate video. So bearing is fixed. That's one less thing we can scratch off the list. But I'm gonna end the video here. It needs to be washed because I'm anal about this car. This car is pretty particular about this car. So this car is showing me I'm all about the little details. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Tried something new with this style of video. Might do this in the future once again, with it being 3 cars on the channel now. So we'll get to it, but appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will catch you guys in the next video. That's me slapping the Beetle. We'll be getting this thing thrown on the coilovers very soon. So yeah, Sentra as well. Gotta go finish that off this week. You guys will see that shortly. I'm talking too much. Goodbye.